Welcome to Happiest Places Home, the interior design channel. If you're into interior design, you'll love it here. In this video, we are checking out the brand new things from Pottery Barn Holiday 2025. They say they have 1,500 new items. They don't, but they do have a few, and we're going to explore those together. That's at the end of the video. I also have dupes for you from Pottery Barn and Anthropologie. I have some fun new finds, and some are those that Mr. Happiest Places Home found for you. He wanted to get in on the action, and you'll have to let him know how he did. If you see absolutely anything that you like in this video, would you please use my links to purchase it? It will help the channel so much going forward because we get a small commission for any sale that's generated through that link. Well, thank you so much in advance, and why don't we get started? There's so much to see. This dupe is for this beautiful Pottery Barn charcuterie set. And this was one of my favorites last year. It was new for last year, and I think it's the perfect gift, but it's also really fun for your own tree. And I don't think it's a terrible deal. You're getting all of these ornaments for the price. But at Target, they actually have a better deal on a charcuterie set, and it's in a very similar box, as you can see. Sometimes when you buy a gift for someone, you do want it to be at that $50-ish mark. That's like a target for some reason, and it seems like that's what you should get someone. But in this case, you're saving $37.50 on this set. So I mean, if I were you, you could get them this set as a gift, and then of course buy some other things to supplement your 50, and they would get so much more. And these ornaments to me look just as nice. Do they to you? Both Pottery Barn and their contemporary sister store have these brass snake candle holders. In fact, the West Elm version is nicer than the Pottery Barn one, but I'm showing you Pottery Barn because we typically do that. And theirs happens to be on sale. The sale price is $33.99, and it's a very fun one, but it's not as tall nor as interesting looking, I think, as the Target. And if you get the Target version, you'll save $22 on one taper candle holder alone. Now, the other reason why I wanted to feature this, because I'm sure for a lot of you, you're not decorating, crazy amounts for Halloween. And there's a category of people who do and who don't. But even if you are someone who doesn't, I can tell you that the Target version is a bit of an investment piece because they had these a few years ago. I'm not sure how many. And people are selling them on Poshmark and eBay for a lot more money than they paid for them because they were so popular and because they sold out. Whether they'll sell out this time or not, I don't know. But I do think that if you bought them now, you might be happy later that you could resell them at a higher price, but also just have some fun with them even if you don't sell them. Because it is kind of, even though snakes are scary, a bit of an elegant way to decorate for Halloween because it's that pretty gold color and it's just an interesting piece. It looks like a sculpture in a way. Hi guys, it's me from 2 hours in the future, and I wanted to let you know that I actually bought the snake that's horizontal, which I'm showing you now, and the vertical one because I convinced myself. Anthropologie is often the innovator and the retailer that comes out with things before everyone else, and then other retailers follow suit. And I think that does happen between Anthropologie and our favorite stores to talk about, Pottery Barn and West Elm, but so many others. So when you see something of theirs and you haven't seen it anywhere before, you'll probably see it other places. So I think the things that they sell are generally worth the price. And the thing that I'm showing you here is a star garland, and it is absolutely beautiful, and they style it so well in such interesting and unusual ways. And I think it's worth the price that they're charging, which is $38. They don't say how long it is in any of the descriptions that I saw, but you can see it's fairly long. Target has something that is similar, and it's $15 right now at Wonder Shop, and it's new. So I thought it was definitely worth showing this as a dupe. I really love that Anthropologie version. I'm serious. So no knock on that. But if you don't have the budget and you have a lot of other things to buy, such as, pumpkin spice, new food items, which I'm going to show you at the end of this, then, you could save a few dollars, maybe get more of them than you intended. Anthropologie and a brand called Terrain go hand in hand, and they are innovators, right? And they have these beautiful glass orb lights, and they come on a string. They use them in a bunch of different styling ways, and they're so unusual and cool. Now, I ended up seeing at Target Wonder Shop glass orbs that stand alone. Now, I've seen these glass orbs somewhere else, not at Anthropologie, but I can't remember where I saw them. Was it CB2? Was it Crate and Barrel? Where was it? But anyway, I thought I would at least compare them to the Anthropologie. I think these are well worth it if you do have a contemporary home, but they also could fit into a traditional home if you use them similar to the way that maybe Anthropologie showed some of them, where you put it within a topiary and then there's some pine coming out. But I have a contemporary home and I would like these very much. Like, I literally have these on my list. So the larger one is $20 and the smaller one is $15. I would get both if I had the budget. So just a recommendation there. Mr. Happiest Place found this one for you. And he finds a bunch of things for you in this video. We'll talk about it. But the Capri Blue Volcano candle is a very popular and famous one at Anthropologie. The young ladies and gentlemen seem to really love that candle. My nieces do, for sure. So he found this, and I don't recall where, but it was reported somewhere. But Hobby Lobby has a great dupe for it. Now, the Hobby Lobby candle that's fluted that you're seeing is also kind of a dupe for one that an influencer created, but I wouldn't say buy it as a dupe for theirs because it wouldn't smell the same. I think theirs is Harvest or something, I don't know, but the look of it is very beautiful. So if you just needed a smaller candle, I think that one's a very special one. But the prices are just fantastic on those Hobby Lobby candles, and people are raving about them, saying that they smell like the Anthropologie version. Mr. Happiest Place found this one for you too. The Anthropologie ghost candles, they're very tiny and cute. They have a lot of whimsical things at Anthropologie in addition to their high design style looking things. And those seem to be, viral when they get something that's super cute. But these are. And you can find a discounted version of, they're not the same exactly, of course, but this version at Aldi. So they're only $5 for the 3. And they do have them right now. I wanted to show you this piece at Target, so put the other one aside for the moment, because really what I'm trying to show you is this very inexpensive tree topper, which is plastic, at Target. Looks so much like fantastic blown glass finials that are sold by higher end stores. So no shade on the Christmas house, which I've never heard of before. I was trying to find you a Christopher Radko one just to kind of compare, but theirs have really fun, crazy, wild things on them. This one's more understated, but it also looks very mid-century modern with that pattern on it, I think. But I have one like this. When I do if I decorate 2 trees, I'm going to put one that's very similar to this on top of the second tree. And when you see it, you may think, I want one like that. Well, get it now then, because it's only $15 at Target, and that's a steal. You can't tell that a tree topper that is a finial looks plastic when it's on top of any tree, because it's just glistening with the lights. Forget the lights though. You really just can't tell because it's higher up. So it's worth it to save money there where you can. Target Wonder Shop also has a finial tree topper that looks so much like the one that I'm going to use on the tree downstairs in the decorating video, and that's up next. As you know, our pets are actually the best part of any design. This one happens to be the icing on the cake of any little vignette I do. And she also loves to help me decorate every step of the way. If I move, she moves. And, while I'm arranging things or even vacuuming and mopping before a video, she's right there in the middle of it, and she loves to just be active and be there right by my side all the time. And I move a lot, so she's got to. And I wanted to make sure she keeps up with that energy. And we found a new food for her that is actually a sponsor of mine too. It's Get Joy. And they have freeze-dried food that is freeze-dried at the peak of nutrition. It has 100% USDA sourced meat, pumpkin for ladies' digestion, salmon oil for her skin and coat. This food is really good for her belly too. It has belly biotics, which means they have pre, pro, and postbiotics for her gut health. And it has made such a difference in our little one. She's very regular. I'm embarrassed to say, but it's true. She doesn't look that embarrassed about it though, does she? Well, she's also a big fan of their beef liver treats. And those are super high protein, and I like that without all the extra additives. So I don't feel funny about rewarding her constantly. Catching treats is one of her favorite pastimes. Well, if you want Get Joy for your little bestie, you can get $30 off your first order, plus a very ritzy gold scoop and some free treats. I hope you don't think I'm making too much of these tree toppers about me, but once again, when I do my tree decorating video for the main tree in my house that I've been talking about with the Lenox ornaments that are retro on it, there will be a gold finial at the top, and it looks very similar to this one, but 110% this Target Wonder Shop version is much nicer than mine. So first of all, it has this fascinating feature that it lights up. I have never seen a finial tree topper that lights up before in my lifetime. Maybe they've existed and I've just missed it, but cool. So, and it's $25. It's plastic, but I think this will be beautiful atop a tree. And I think it would look even more beautiful if you ask me if it's not turned on, but I'd have to see it turned on. That thing where you can see the light more at the tip, I bet when you actually turn it on, it won't look like that and the whole thing will light up all at the same amount, but I don't know. I really would like to buy this, but I can't justify getting the same exact thing just because I like this one better. You know, you have to save where you can. But I will be jealous of you if you buy this one. And honestly, I think you should. It will just be the fantastic topper that you've been waiting for your whole life, probably. And I want to hear about it for sure. Target came out with these really interesting brass looking holiday village pieces. A lot of their little village pieces for different holidays are petite. These are not as petite as you've seen before. Now, where are my measurements for these? I don't know. I'm sorry. We've got to get moving on this video. But so they look modern farmhouse, but the fact that they're gold makes them also, more normal, traditional. So you could use them in a modern farmhouse home, or you could use them in your traditional home, but you could also use them in a contemporary setting. Do you agree with that? But I thought these are new, they're interesting. Whether they would come out with other pieces that complement these in the future, I don't know. But maybe you have a little space where you could fit two little gold houses and it would make it very special. You might want to put more houses across a mantle if you have one, but this could be for that little side table or your island. I don't know. But I thought these were nice. we've come to the point where I want to show you the things that Mr. Happiest Place's home found for you this week. And I think it's so funny that he decided to do this. And I'm not going to say this is going to be a consistent feature, but I think it inspired him to do this because it's my birthday today, by the way, and this is a few days before you're seeing this video. Well, one day before you're seeing this video, probably. But he starts to watch my videos before my birthday to see if there's anything that I say I have to have. So I think that's what got him into it. I don't know, but I'm grateful. And let's see how he does, okay? But I think this one, it's a smash hit. So I've never seen these before, but Target has these new appliances that are a hearth and hand version. You know how they come up with their specialty versions of things. And Haden is a popular brand. It's from the UK. You know, I just love anything that's British. I mean, or Scottish or Irish. That's all great. Now, Haden has some really cool colors all the time, but this is like the combination to get. It's got that white icing color that the Drew Barrymore Beautiful appliances have, but it has a shinier and I think more interesting handle. And don't think he got these for me. I'm 100% sure he didn't because I already have my Walmart version of these. But these are amazing. That was a little high pitch, sorry. But each one, if you were to get all new small electrics, these would be the ones to get, and the prices are very affordable. Now, I'm not covering each price along the way because I was yammering on about Mr. Happiest Place. I do that sometimes. Now, the toaster, there's a 4-slice version and the 2-slice version. So I think that it just depends on what your needs are. Sometimes I wish we had a 4-slice toaster instead of the 2. But anyway, these are amazing. Isn't that woman from Hearth and Hand, what's her, Joanna Gaines? She really comes up with some interesting things. So here's one of them, and I'm impressed. Are you? Okay, so he was in Target waiting for our order to be finished while I was out in the car on a work call. And that's how he came out with some of these. And he wondered if you guys would like these. Now, they were in Target last year. But I think he's right in saying you would probably like these because would a glass pumpkin ever go out of style? And they do have the hole at the bottom, so you could put little twinkly lights that we all bought at Target last year. Maybe not all of us, but you should when they come out. Or you could put a candle in there, the faux candle, of course. So there are 3 of these glass pumpkins. The tallest one is 8.8 inches tall. The rest I don't have the heights, but the tall is 25, the medium's 15, the short is 10. If you bought all 3, which I would if you were going to, it's $50 to get all 3. But you would have these forever. How are they going to go out of style? You know what I mean? So good job, mister. So he chose these based on looks alone. He didn't have an opportunity to smell them. By the way, that's hilarious because this is the most fussy person you'll ever meet about scents. Like I'm not allowed to wear perfumes. It just bothers him. So that's funny. But he is so right in saying that these are really good looking candles. So the dark color, the caramel color is a pumpkin bourbon and it's $5. That's a great price. And then the lighter color, which I think that color is more unique. You know, how unusual to have that taupey color on a pumpkin candle. And it's like a little translucent, but not completely. It's really like milky. It's very pretty. So that one is pumpkin vanilla. So both are $5, and I think these are great finds. Please let me know in the comments what you think. I would love to share with him. If it's bad, I'm not going to tell him. And he probably won't look now that, you know, all the video watching is behind him. Sometimes he watches my videos to fall asleep, by the way, because he thinks my voice is relaxing. It's very embarrassing. I think Mr. Happiest Place's home is right on the money with these woven pumpkins. He said, these are a dupe for something at Pottery Barn, aren't they? Well, Pottery Barn does have woven pumpkins, but we're not going to do a side-by-side because he has this cute video of them. But these are much larger than they look on camera. The taller one is 16 inches high. So that's a big impact on your design. Buying big things, good idea. If it fits. That's $25. And then the more petite one is not petite at all. It's 10.5 inches tall. And that's $20. Probably want to get both. But I think those are really impressive. And what do you guys think? So he said these must be a dupe for some designer candles because they look really nice. So let's leave it at that, I guess. Now these are by Studio McGee with Threshold, and these are based on looks alone once again, and they are beautiful. I've seen these before, but he chose them for his portion of the video. And the darker color, which is kind of like a brown with a little hint of red, I guess, that's black pepper and mahogany. All right, let's call it mahogany color. And then the green is sunflower and ivy. They're on sale right now. It's 20 ounces, by the way, and with the sale, it's $1 an ounce because they're both $20, but very large and impressive. And I do think that they would look so good on a coffee table or a console table or your kitchen counter in a little vignette. I love those. So good choice, sir. All right, now I've joined him in the store, and we stumbled upon this new section called Mystic Manor, and it wasn't there just 2 days before that, maybe a day before that we were there. We've had to pick up a lot of things at Target, and let me tell you how it's described because I jotted it down. It's dark romanticism meets Victorian vibes, so it's very, moody and perfect for Halloween. Now, if you don't want to invest in new dishware and all that for Halloween, which makes perfect sense to me, maybe if you have regular friends that come over or just you as a few people in the family have a glass of wine here or there or champagne, maybe you could just get 2 or 3 or 4 because they're only $5 each. And I'll tell you how this goes. So the tallest one is actually a champagne glass, even though it looks like a tall wine glass. That's how it's described anyway. Like I said, $5. These are described as black. However, in certain lights, they look a little bit blue, like a navy blue, but they're definitely dark vibes, And then there's a coupe glass, which is all the way to the right, and that middle one is the wine glass. But you could do wine out of that champagne glass. I don't know. You know how normally a white wine glass is taller than a red wine glass? You could do white wine in the tall one, red wine in the small one, whatever you want to do. This is Happiest Place's home, so you're supposed to do whatever makes you happy. Anyway, in this Mystic Manor collection, that's where the snake candle was as well. And some other really cute things. We also spotted this picture, which has, a dark and dreary, I would guess it's a moth, not a butterfly, but it could be a butterfly. And then the thing over to the left. So we've got a candy bowl, a pitcher, and, that container, I think, with a skull on it. But this pitcher is much bigger than it looks on camera. It is 57 fluid ounces. So that's interesting. And this container, I guess, could be also a candy container. So the other one might be a candy bowl, and this is just a lidded something or other. You probably know exactly what this is for, and I don't, and I'm sorry. Don't know. Now, the more interesting item, I think, which I hadn't talked about yet, is the beverage dispenser, which is glass. So all of this is glass. I should have said that prior to this. But the beverage dispenser is only $20, and that is a showstopper, I think. Like if you're going to have one Halloween decoration at your party, you could do the beverage dispenser and then just have, whatever glasses you always use. Those are really fun, aren't they? There's something that he bought at Lidl that I do want to show you after this, but while he was there, he spotted this. I know a lot of you don't have a Lidl in your vicinity, but still stick with me if you don't mind. So, by the way, any supermarket, there's always a wow aisle where you're like, oh my God, they have this, and they have home decor things that you're just shocked by. Now, these are a trio of pumpkins. They're $9.99 for the 3. They're pre-lit. Some people have an aversion to words at this point in design, completely understandable, but you could turn that one around for sure. And he spotted these stackable fabric pumpkins. I feel like if you saw them separately, you might be more impressed because they each have their own style. But if you're a neutral girl or guy, the one on the right might work really well. And it's got that cable knit accent there, which reminds me of Modern Farmhouse, if that's what you're going for. But whether you are or not, it's kind of cute in its own right. And that plaid is cute. And then the one with the orange has brown boucle at the bottom. So that's a completely different look. I wouldn't get them both. I would get 2 of one color or the other. And it's $9.99 each. A great price, I think. Pretty good. For those of you who are decorating with navy blue, or if you're doing a lot with blue and white, he spotted this toaster for you, and it's $29.99. It's really fun. I think at one point they had a different small electric with this. I think it actually was a stand mixer, but like an inexpensive looking one. But you know, they come up with some really fun things every now and then. And this, I should say, is also from Lidl. We love walking through this aisle to see what kind of crazy things they have. They have clothes too. Now that guy will suggest that I buy the clothes, but he would never buy anything for himself in the supermarket. Now here's the piece I've been waiting to show you. We talked about cinnamon scented pine cones, and I do like to put them in the front of my house. Every year we also get a cinnamon scented broom, you know, so I can fly away. But I slide it under my console because you can't see it and it smells fabulous. You don't want this close to your living area because it is strong. Now this one's from Lidl, and Dave did spot this and picked it up for us. This was the one thing out of everything that he picked up. Or actually, no, it's not the one thing. You'll see another thing. So this is $3.99 there at Lidl. Just look in your local supermarket to see if they have one, if you haven't tried one before, because it just smells not just like autumn. It smells like the holidays as well. So there it is in store, and it's usually in the front of the store in any supermarket. I'm still telling you the best versions of those pine cones, I don't know if they have a broom, are always at Wegmans if you have a Wegmans near you. But this one rivals that. I mean, it smells the same. So maybe it's as good. Maybe it's the same brand. I don't know. But this is the one that we have for this year, and it's really fun. Now, also, they had them at Target, and I spotted them when I stopped in yesterday and got a pic for you, or a video. And so they have theirs in your Target. I don't know if you have this, but they have that unusual area in the front by the door on one of the sides of Target where they have super seasonal something or other. So like I remember at Mother's Day, they had some cute foods and gifts at the holidays, of course, but it's usually food things that they have there, but they had this there as well. And at Target, the version is apple and cinnamon flavor, which is unusual, you know? Once I watched a woman in the UK find all of these cleaning products that had holiday scents, and it was at their version of the dollar store. And I didn't watch it with Dave, but I mentioned to him that I'm so jealous because they have seasonal versions of their cleaning products. Why can we not have that? That's so great. Well, they have an autumn scent, and that is pumpkin spice of Dawn dish detergent at Lidl. I'm sorry that I don't have the price of that, and I don't for this either, but he also found spiced caramel pumpkin soap. It doesn't smell that much like pumpkin, if you want the truth, and neither does the dish detergent, but it does a little bit, okay? And it's still a lot of fun. These are my birthday crumble cookies, and you'll see we did take a few bites out of one already, and that was pumpkin spice. But the best one is the second one in, and it's some kind of a sprinkle or confetti milkshake. Highly recommend. We received the email from Pottery Barn Friday that said there are 1,500 new items in the holiday shop. And I scrolled through it and I noticed that there are a few new things in there, but most of the things are from last year and some from the year before. So we're going to scroll through it together to discover the brand new things, which is very exciting. And we'll just do it together, which I thought would be fun. When it comes to the gingerbread items that you'll see, there is a dupe video for those that came out on Wednesday. So go back and watch that after this if you don't mind, if you have time after all of this. Well, the first item I want to show you are these lit crystal village houses. And I've actually already tried to find a dupe for them and I haven't been able to. They are very special and I think they actually are priced very well. I don't know if we're going to need to find a dupe, not because we can all afford to get all of them, but because they do look a lot like Waterford crystal village houses that were made in the past, and those obviously were a lot more expensive than this. And then the idea that these can also light up is very special. So, I mean, if you had the budget and you like the crystal look in your home, I would go for all of these. You know, having crystal was kind of a very 80s thing, and the 80s are back, as we've discussed in this video before, in terms of home decor. And these have that more modern farmhouse, like very simplistic look, but they also still have that 80s crystal look. And I think they're pretty, so I think they're worth it. Now the next one, I'm sure this one jumped out at you already, but with all of the gingerbread things that they've had for the last few years, they have a few new things. And this is the handcrafted reindeer, and they're carrying the sleigh. Now the detail work on the reindeer are really exceptional. And I feel like gingerbread reindeer and the sleigh, it could have looked very cheesy. This set is priced at $1.99, and you could see that it could blend into a setting where you have all neutrals. I've said that before about the gingerbread. You can see the nice detailing up close there. And that sleigh can't carry a lot of things. It looked pretty with the ribbon candy. These are new, the handcrafted ceramic gingerbread village people. There's a set of 7. My favorite one is that little, I think he's a Scotty dog, but these are very petite, by the way. So like just a few inches, but they would go well if you're doing an entire Pottery Barn gingerbread display. It's almost like you have to have them, I guess. Now it's $79.50 to get that grouping. That doesn't seem like a terrible price. You know that they will go on sale, but who knows, they could be sold out. You can see the inches there. This gingerbread truck is a lot smaller than it looks in the photo, just so you know, so it is more understated than it seems. And $49.50 seems like it's right in line with the other prices for the gingerbread items. You could store some things in the back of that. But it really isn't that much bigger than a lot of the things in the photo with the mantle. So just saying it's small. That wouldn't be my number one pick, but I did want to point out that it's new. There are 2 appetizer plates that I think are brand new. One of them may not be, but I'll tell you anyway, just in case. So the gingerbread train appetizer plates are 4 for $59.50. They are super cute. So I think out of all of the appetizer plates, these and the snowflake might be my favorite. Now the other one that I think might be new is that bear. And the bear is same price, but also they have bear mugs, And those I think look a little unusual, but also the price was extreme. So I think that might be priced incorrectly, but I'm not sure. It's 4 of those mugs for $118. So maybe that'll be fixed. Maybe it is the real price. I don't know. With these cookie jars, I think the ones standing out to me as new are this classic looking bear. It reminds me of the Ralph Lauren bear in a way, but it's a lighter color. I think this is cute. It's pretty expensive for what it is. It wouldn't be my number one choice. If I was to pick out of all of those, it would be the gingerbread house, which has been around for a long time, but was sold out that first year. Now this bear that's a gingerbread, he looks kind of funny to me, and I think he's new too. So that's $89. I like the train. That's okay. That one is more expensive, I think, because it has so much detail. So that's $149. So among these terracotta pieces, I know that the snowman with the hat, and I believe he had a friend, those were around. But I think the ones with the, winter cap, with the, what do they call it? I'll just call it a pom-pom. Those 2 guys I think are brand new. So $89.50 for the big one. No, oh, that's right. There's only a medium one at this point, and these are new for this year, I believe. I did look also to double check, in the photos of people styling them at home, and no one had those with that type of cap, do you see? So I'm pretty sure those are the new ones. So if you love it, you might want to grab that medium guy. At this point, I had to delete a lot of my scrolling trying to find new things, but here we are. We've arrived at one, and it is this wreath-shaped serving plate, and it's very large. When you do see it on the hutch with all of the gingerbread things, you're going to see that, it takes over the background. It's the perfect piece to, prop up and really save the space in the background. But I think this is very interesting looking, and it does have the red detail where a lot of their gingerbread things don't, so I find that interesting. But this is new. I've never seen it. These plaid candy cane ornaments are made of fabric, and I thought that was so interesting. They're pretty large. I don't know the size, to be honest, offhand, but you're going to see pictures of them on a tree, and you'll be able to tell. But my great-grandmother knew how to make things like this. She would make pillows for our beds as kids, and they were really cute. It would be like monogram and things like that, and a lot of times they were plaid. And I did spot this beautiful photo of a Christmas tree that I can't open. I finally was able to open it, so I wanted to make sure that I shared it. If you've made it this far into the video, you are a very good friend to me, and I thank you for that. And I'll ask you for a favor, if you haven't watched my video that I released as a surprise on Wednesday, would you? Because it's got all kinds of dupes for Pottery Barn gingerbread in it at Target. So take a look at that if you have a moment. I mean, would you after all this? I don't know. But also, let us know in the comments what you think of Mr. Happiest Place's home, his design finds. We would both love to hear about that. All right, talk to you guys soon.